What is going on, everybody? Coming at you with some more One Piece gameplay. Today we got some Trafalgar Law against Eustass Captain Kidd. This, I think, is the hardest matchup for Law, and I think it's a really fun matchup, but it can definitely be difficult. I'm playing the Law on the right there, and my friend Kyle is playing the Kidd on the left. This is the first time I've actually played the matchup, so I'm interested to try it out. I just know that it can be a very hard matchup from Law from what I have seen, depending on, what you draw and what they draw. It's hard to deal with some of the bigger bodies on the Kidd side, and they have a lot of removal for your suspended guys. So first off, we're going to go with a Bonnie here, and we're going to pass turn back to the Kidd player, and then he's going to look at his options, and there's going to play a killer. I think a bit of a misplay here because this takes on answer way. I suspend the killer and then swing over it, but I think that was a bit of a misplay using my Izo though, because I'm actually gonna pitch another one from my hand here, which I think is the real misplay, to counter a Kidd swing, and then he's gonna play like he's gonna swing at me for 6. I'm like, oh, easy counter, I got a 2k in hand. And I think that's the mistake, because once I pitch that, he's gonna like drop his the Kidd with double attack, and at that point, once the double attack Kidd comes out, I'll be on the back foot for the rest of the game if I cannot remove it or counter it, and he can just load it up next turn. So I'm like, oh god, how can I deal with this? And unfortunately, like without a blocker or something, so I tapped the Bonnie to search. So I'm like, I desperately need a blocker right now, and guess what? I don't find a blocker. I find only card I take is the Luffy there, unfortunately. And I play a Nami, so I'm like, oh god, give me a chopper. I just need something here. Desperately, I need to find a blocker to deal with this Kidd, because taking 2 damage early game when you're only on 4 life is rough. So I have the Firehawk here, and I just end up picking it up because you can grab those based on the errata for Nami. And I think I get a bit greedy here, because I put 2 underneath my Izzo to swing, because I don't want to waste the swing there. And I think that's a misplay, because I should definitely live up Firehawk for the counter here. I'm not sure why, but I don't do that. And because I don't do that, I'm guaranteed eating a Kidd swing here for, he's just going to load him up to, 8k. And if I had Firehawk, that gets my leader to 9. And then it's just an easy counter. So I'm not quite sure why I did that. I think I went too aggressive there, and that was a misplay on my part. I didn't want to miss out on that Izo swing, and I think that ends up costing me a little bit here, because, exactly, he's just going to load up his Kidd. He can get him up to 10k, I believe, so... But he's only going to put him to 8. So, like, again, Firehawk puts me to 9 here, easy counter, and I just have to take 2 hits. So that's a pretty big misplay for me, not leaving 2 Dawn up. And taking that swing, he swings at my Bonnie, and that goes away. And now I'm on the back foot for the rest of the game, because again, I'm just making these misplays. These games that we were playing were fairly late at night, and I definitely was pretty tired, so I wasn't really paying attention too much, unfortunately. I don't really want to make like excuses for myself, but again, I gotta practice being more aware of what could be coming, and what I need to do to protect my guys. So I'm going to load up my Law here, because I need this Kidd off the board. And if you can't keep him on the board there. So I'm going to swing at him, and if he counters this, like, I know that he's got 2 Dawn up, and I put a magic number here. Like, I'm like thinking 10k is probably the magic number here, because he can't get past that without investing like so much of his hand. And then I'm going to play a Nami here, reveal top 5, grab a Zoro, and put the rest at the bottom of my deck. And now the Kidd has nothing on board, but I've got no blockers out. I haven't really seen any of my 1-cost blockers this game so far, which is pretty rough, honestly, because against the Kidd, who can just tempo out with Bleeder getting 2 swings in, and if you load him up, like, you can give him, like, in the situation he's got, 8 Dawn, he can give him like 4 or 5 Dawn, and then just swing at my life, which is what he's gonna do here. He's going to load up with 3 Dawn, swing at me for 8k, which is, hard to deal with. And I'll take it, because it's just, like, what else am I going to do, right? And then he can just, pitch a card, pay 3, restand him, and then swing again for 8k. And, I mean, without a blocker on the board, what can I do against this matchup, right? So, not seeing your 1-cost blockers against Kidd is really tough. Not seeing any blockers at all is really tough. He's going to pitch Law. He's going to load him up to 10k, and again, I just have to take it because I have nothing that can stop it on board. So now I'm like, oh, shoot. I'm pretty boned when it comes to life, and I have to think about what I can do to counter potential swings from this kid, because he's going to get 2 swings in at probably, you know, he's going to be loaded up. And so I think I play the chopper. That's pretty good. That can help me out here. And then I pay 5. I mean, I think I have a Law in hand. So I pay Zoro 3. And then, just thinking here myself, I put 200 Ezo and swing at leader for 5. Swing at leader again with Law for 5. And once he pitches the Nekomamushi, I'm like, okay, awesome. So he can't suspend my chopper. He'll counter again with his killer. I'll use a Law effect to bounce my Ezo to play a Luffy and swing at leader again. I'm just trying to get aggressive as possible here. And then I pass turn back to him. Again, not leaving up 2 Dawn for Firehawk feels really bad. I'm realizing that now. And then I guess he got really lucky on this one because he pulled another Nekomamushi off of his life there. And I'm like thinking to myself, like, I have enough counter in my hand. I have like 12k counter in my hand. And I'm like, oh, well, there's Nekomamushi and he surprises my blocker. And I can block one of the attacks here, but I can't block both. I had done the math and I'm like, okay, well, I can block one attack and then I can counter one attack from hand based on the cards that I have. And then I'm like, oh god, but the Nekomamushi. So I thought I was safe because I had, you know, I had 2 Ezos, a Brook, and then a Robin. So I had like 7k of counter in my hand, and I was like doing the math. But yeah, so that's gonna be game. A couple misplays from me early game, just not being aggressive early and then being too aggressive in the mid game. I think not respecting that that double damage kid. I didn't, you know, I haven't really played against anyone running double damage kid before, so that was surprising when it came out. Not something that I was just expecting, but yeah, he just explained that he pulled the Nekomamushi off his life. But yeah, if you guys do enjoy the One Piece gameplay, again, please make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I have lots more games. Unfortunately, I lost all of them because one of those days, but I will have lots more games coming up. We're going to be playing a lot more in preparation for the Treasure Cup, so make sure to continue to tune in for those. Until next time, Monty out.